Hello.
Hello, Luana. Are you upset?
No, I'm not upset.
Okay, that's that's good. Okay, I thought the homework is a lot, and then maybe that's why you. Okay, it's good to hear that everything is fine. Did you face difficulties?
No, I didn't. The homework I did not. Oh,
Okay, okay, that's great. Please let me see the beauty of your code.
okay. Is it also a public holiday in Malaysia?
Yes, in all the whole world, yes,
Okay.
but the classes never stop.
I don't.
Yeah.
Mm,
When is your exact date for the exam?
The 21st and the 23rd. For
Mm-hmm.
practical is the 23rd.
Okay. Okay. Um, yep, that is good. And yeah, go to the points. Excellent. Get points. Yep. Hmm. That's excellent. You do it alone without any external help, right?
No help.
That's good. Okay, that's great. Okay, move to the next, please.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Wait, wait. Show me the, I mean, that is when you use a loop, a while loop. Show me the one without the while loop. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. So, okay. First of all, did you understand what they are trying to do using this function?
yes, I got an idea of what we're trying to do.
Okay,
So
what is it?
when y is bigger than x,
Uh-huh.
we're trying to decrease, sorry, we're trying to decrease y. Sorry, no. When y is bigger than x, we're trying to increase y until y and x are the same. And then we output one, we return one.
Uh-huh.
And when they're the same, we just return one.
Okay.
And when x is bigger than y, we're trying to decrease y until it's equal to x, until x is equals to y.
Yeah, yeah,
And
okay.
yes.
So what is the purpose of the code and why we are using recursive in this case?
The purpose of the code, okay. So for example, let's just say for the first case, x is 15, x is 10, sorry, and y is 15.
Hmm.
So it's first going to output 10 plus 15, which is 25.
25. Uh-huh.
And then the next time it runs 26,
Okay.
27, 28, 29.
Okay.
Something that I just didn't understand. What was the point of multiplying
By two.
at the end? Because at the end we get 32.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah. Um, I mean, okay, what you're doing, what you're saying is great. So when you print, what you described to me is what you see being printed out from these two statements, right?
Yes.
But the reality is that the code is doing something different from this print statement. Okay, so if you notice, when you, I mean, when x, when y is bigger than x, in this case, the highest number that you get from this is actually 32.
Yes, I noticed that.
Okay, so, and if you notice, this 32 does not have any relation to the number that is going to be printed out. So he print 25, 26, and then the last number he's going to print, he print 29. After that, suddenly
It's
he print
32.
32,
I
which
know,
have no relation to the numbers
yes.
before it. Mhm.
I know why it prints 32, but I don't understand what's the purpose in this code.
Okay.
Because I know that at the end it returns one and it will go back and, for
Yes.
example, let's just say x is 0 and y is 4.
Mhm.
At the end, we return 1, and we're going to go back to the first time that we ran the code, the first
Okay,
result we got, and
okay.
we'll multiply that by 2.
And then we take that and
Multiply 1
multiply
by
again by
2,
2. And then
and
we
then
keep
the
it going
result,
up. Yeah.
yes. But
Okay.
I don't understand what's the purpose.
Okay. Okay. No problem. It's okay. Totally fine. So it is a tricky code, really tricky code. So, and what about here? If you notice here, this code will also produce 25 and then 24 and so on until we reach 0.
21 and then 0.
Yes. Okay. So the only way, one of the only ways to actually understand this kind of mystery code, especially that he multiply. I mean, if you look, typically we have 2 plus and then a recursive call, or 2 multiplied by and then a recursive call. He do it here in a tricky way, so he want to confuse us. But okay, so my advice in this kind of situation, to really understand the thing, what's really happening inside the code, then I would say come here and press enter 2 times. Okay, copy this code and put it up here. Okay, that's good. Now remove the return in line number 6 and put
Line number
res
6.
equal return only. Yes. So remove
Oh,
the return, put res equal. Okay,
okay.
that's good. And then we come on line number 7, we print res. And it is better to actually put that in some kind of text here. So we say res equal and then double quotation and then a comma res, so that we don't mix it with other numbers that is being printed out. Let me try to clean that here. Okay, wait.
I just want to put it in the main.
Okay, sure. So, okay, now we got this in the res. It's saved here. So we remove this part and we replace it with res because we already got it. So we don't need to, I mean, no, don't remove the return, only this portion.
Oh, yes, okay.
Okay, now run, please. So this is the real thing that is happening in the code. So, I mean, you wait until you reach 29, and then you start to have 2. Why are you having 2? Because you multiplied 1
By 2,
by
yes.
2 here.
2 by
Okay,
2,
and then
4 by 2.
and you keep rolling back until you multiply 16 by 2 and it gives you 32. That's why you have here 32 happening. And so, I mean, okay, now I'm not teaching you about the function. I'm teaching you how to really understand a code that is looks like mystery to you.
Yes. I actually did that, but I wrote it on paper because I wanted to understand what the purpose of the code was. And I
Excellent.
did come to the conclusion, two,
Okay.
four, six.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so you can still repeat the same here. I think you can do it alone, right? I mean, I'm teaching you the concept. This concept, you are able to do it here, and you exactly will end up the same. And you will see why we are getting 0 and all this, like, I mean, this is numbers that does not really reflect what is happening around. So you see here the zeros. So from the first time we make a division, it just gives me 0, and it keep rolling zeros for whatever until we reach here, and then we brought out the 0. So this is like a decoy, you know. He's printing numbers as if he's doing something, but at the end of the day, it is just 0. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Oh.
So it just has no purpose. It just makes it more
For this
complicated.
for this specifically, yes. But this, as you know, that it is like he's raising something to the power of 2, you know.
Yes.
Okay.
For the first movement, and then for the rest, not really. Because 4 to the power of 2 is 16.
Yes, yes, I have to agree. Yes, yes, I have to agree. Yes, correct.
Doubling, I
Yes,
guess.
it's doubling. It's more accurate as doubling. Yes, correct. Yes. So in here, um, because of the integer division, actually, let me tell you here. This can actually also work just by writing int, and then you write here a normal division. So what you're doing here is correct, because the div equivalent in Python is this, and you did it correct. But another form is to actually write the unknown here and divide it by 2, and then take the integer portion by passing int, and whatever decimal point you get here, you will actually get rid of it. So both are actually correct. So far, okay?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So let me see. Yeah, I think you can. Oh, did you write the code, please?
I
Show me.
did
Wait. Give me a second. You make a mistake here, but I didn't check it. Go to the iterate method here.
here. Okay.
Yep. So I think this is a mistake that you didn't notice it. Is it?
Where? Sorry. No, I didn't. I can't see what the mistake would be in this case.
Um. So when we have y bigger than x, we multiply by 2. And when we have the opposite,
Oh, yes. Okay.
we divide by 2.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
So I think it is just a simple mistake. It's not a misunderstanding. I think you understand correct,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I mistake.
Yeah, that is a good code. Yeah. Okay, that's good. You're good to go. So I think we can start moving. Did you write the code? Yeah, that's good. So show me your understanding. I think you need to copy it to the main, I believe.
Yes. Okay. I just don't understand why this is highlighted in red.
It does run or no?
Um,
Book takes no argument. Okay, go to the book class. Where did you find the book class? So I would say here, title, author. Are you sure? We only have, this is for inputs. And let me see. You forgot here underscore.
oh, yes.
So that's why he will never, yeah, try to run, please. So it must be, yeah, yes, that's good. So it is running. Okay, that's good. It, now, yes, close and show me the code again. We have, I mean, the key here, go down to library, because this is, the juice is actually in the library. So, okay. now you have, this is an array, right? And then I keep adding to it. But
Yes.
then if I would like you to make a method that actually tell me how many books so far have been entered. So what is your choices here? I mean, how can you, how can we tell the library have how many books at the moment? What could be the possible solution that you put here?
If you put len of the array,
Uh-huh. Okay.
a function to
So, there is three ways. There is three ways we are able to achieve that. So you are able to put len, but then how can we get the len? So if I'm outside of the class, how can I get how many books inside there? So do I need to make just a variable? Do I need to make um, books count method? Or what exactly?
in this case. You sure if you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
I'm not really sure what we can do in this
So
case.
the easiest way. Oh, I heard this case, but I didn't hear. You don't know. So okay. So the easiest way would be that you create a variable here, especially if at the end of the day, if you are not creating private variables. So let me think. Let me think. I think no. I think so if you create, let's try to create a variable first. So you create a self book count or even count. So you come here. No, 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 no. We don't take it as an input because yeah, we don't take it as an input. You
Oh,
yes, you
I
self.
think I have an idea. What if every time a book is added, the count increases of book count?
Yes, yes, that's one of the ways. Yes. So you say book count and we initialize it to 0 because it's an empty array at the moment. And yes, you are able to add here every time he call add book, you actually increment that by 1. That's good. So, and you're able to come here in the main code and call the library variable dot book count. So you can put it in a print statement here. You say library dot book count and print it out. Books in the library is 0. Did you add any books to the? Let me see. Why he's saying that there is no books? You already added books here.
Yes.
Go down then. Something is really wrong. Library book count. Did you make sure that this is really the code that you incremented inside add books? Book count. Okay, so I would say that I would to understand what's going on, just come here, press enter, and print for
And
me a book count.
so
Mhm. So it seems that I'm able to get it correct, but it's still showing me books in the library, books in
zero.
the library. But okay, no, something is quite strange here. Mm,
And it doesn't even, it says books for in the library.
where is this? Where we are printing that actually? books for in the library. We are not printing, we just printing a book count. We didn't print even. Can you search for this?
Okay.
This
Okay. And why does it print this twice? Welcome to the library. I am Alice.
where do you print it? Ah, okay. Yeah. I think you go down. Let's have a look at initial code. Yes, go down to the main.
Okay. But here's the print statement for like
Okay, give me a second. Let me. This is an easy thing. So if you go down, okay, slowly here. Okay, so you do this. You call this 2 times. You call it here librarian.create patterns, and you do exactly the same here. Okay, and the point here. Wait. So you call. Ah, you already added. Wait. What is this? You created a librarian, and then you created a new library that I got it.
This is what we did last lesson, and then I forgot to
Remove
remove
it.
it. Yes.
Okay, so I would say remove. Yep. But wait, this is correct. Let me see. Did you put? I think. Wait, give me a second. Let me have a look at the code at the start so that we do not delete and write again. Slowly in the main. Enough here. Okay. So we created a librarian and we added it.
Right.
So okay, true. So we don't want to create another librarian and we don't want to create another library because we already created that. So I would say remove this and this. But yes, the first 3 lines. Yes, exactly. Correct. So yep, we should try to run. I think that will. So we are getting 3 for the book count, and then we are really printing the books, and that is a result of this.
Yes.
So okay, you understand why we are printing this?
Yes, I do understand.
Okay, so I think now, so I mean, at the end of the day, this is one of the easiest way, but actually in reality, if I come here, press enter on line 50, press enter, line 50.
Interesting.
So write library.book count equal 10.
Book count equals
10 and run. So do you see what happened here? I managed to destroy the real count of the books. So this I mean this is a bug, okay? And it is a bug in the code, which means that you did something by mistake when you're not really focusing well. So, and the purpose typically of making instance variables inside the class is to protect us from causing bug in the software. So this is not the best way to actually expose the book count. The best way is to create a method that's called get book count. So, and you create this book count as a private variable. So it means that I cannot alter it from my main. It need, I mean, at the end of the day, it is your increment that decide how many book count. I am not allowed to change this book count from outside because I personally, from the main, do not know how many books. The one who really knows is the method add book, because every time I call it, I increment that by 1. I mean, does this make sense or
yes,
it's confusing?
It does make sense.
Okay, so I told you the easiest way, but this is not the safest way. Let me see. So Okay. If you want to get the books out, how can you do that? Oh, the books is already here. I don't need to take it out, right? What if I would like to actually get the list of the books that is inside the library? Can I get that?
The list of the books that's inside the library.
Yes.
Mm.
I don't want to get them one by one. I just want them to be out in the main. I want a way, as a line of code that I can write it in the main that allow me to get a list of books in that inside library.
The title only and
Not the
not
details, just I only would like to have a link or a list that is already stored in the library. How can I do that?
or maybe if you create an array in the
Mhm.
library
Mhm.
and you create a for loop in the main to output
It's just
what
one line.
oh okay, then
So,
if you output the entire array at once.
okay, what about, am I able to say library dot book list or books? Can I do that from inside the main?
Mm.
Um, I would say that, okay, so here is getting you the memory address where the books is actually stored. So if you would like to get the books, so actually you are getting the books, okay? But the best way is to get the books is to say, for example, ARR equal library books. And then you loop through the ARR. So this is now you got the array, okay? And then maybe you make a for loop or for each loop to get every book that is inside.
So that's the
Wow.
same.
It's the same. Let me think. Let me think. He getting a list, but he doesn't allow me to. Hmm. He doesn't allow me to get the list. Okay. Hmm. Yes, a bit strange here. Um, uh, 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 um, Library books. Okay, what about if you create a method inside the library and call it get books?
The library and okay, get books.
And make it return
Could books be one of the so
you make it return self.books.
I try to run? That means can get books.
You have to, yes, remove that, and you just need to call the method that you created. Get books actually need to be called on library because it's stored in the library, and it doesn't need to take any input. So get books is actually returning something. So I would not take an input from it. May I know why we're doing it here? This need to be in the main, and it doesn't, I mean, we don't have to take an input. Uh, okay, when we call a method inside a method inside library,
Double brackets.
not only that, we have to mention this library. Same like when we call display books.
Do I need to put the double brackets or is it not necessary?
No, it's okay like that. Totally fine. Get books is a method, so you have to pass it two brackets. You're treating it as if it is a variable. So, okay. Yep. Let me see what is the error here. We're missing. Okay, so you designed the get books as something that get an input, but actually when we say get, let me see. So anything that say
Oh,
any
get.
getter
There's no.
doesn't
Okay,
have
yes,
an
I
input.
remember. If
Yes.
there's only self.
Yes.
Yes.
So I would say that something is really weird here. Just can you do me a favor? Can you download? So you go to main, download that file and upload it to the um, to the WhatsApp. I would like to run this file because yeah, I would like to run it outside the Replit because it seems that Replit have some issue recently. I already communicate with their support yesterday evening because I facing with different languages certain errors, quite strange errors. So yes, save the main. Yes, correct.
Oh,
Upload it to the WhatsApp
can I
and
send it after class because I need to log my WhatsApp into
no
my
problem.
computer?
Yes, definitely. Yes, you can do that. Yes. So uh, at the end, um, you're supposed to even try one more thing is remove the print, say maybe book list equal your, I mean, can you make control Z first? Okay, now only remove the print. Yes, book list equal library. Yes, so you come here, remove. Yes, now suppose when you run and let me see, I think you should be able to copy that code here, this for loop. Luana, I'm not able to hear you,
Lines.
unfortunately. Yes, yes, exactly. So you change that from array, you put it book list for book inside
Focused.
book list. Yes. And do me a favor so that we make sure that we are actually not confusing this book to anything else. Um, remove the OOK and leave B only. So for B inside the book list, yep. Okay, now try to run. Still, we are getting the object name like that. Okay. Yeah, let me try to run that outside later after the class. Because this code's supposed to work actually. So yeah, let me try to figure out what could be the issue. Is it only the replet or even outside? And then after that, we discuss it in the next class. Is it okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, then let's try to continue, please. So you stop sharing, and then I would say by saying I mean, by what we have done so far, we actually finished the OOP. Definitely, there is more exercises and more practice you have to do. So that will be like homework. But at the moment, we need to go into algorithms. Yes.
I also have a question.
Yes.
So I have my first exam next week on Wednesday.
Yep.
And I wanted to know, when do you think that we will finish the syllabus?
That is interesting question. Okay. So we have the last chapter that we need to go through, and that is the algorithm. Okay. Definitely, we are able to finish. Maybe it can take 2 to 3 classes, most probably. But I would say if we would like to, I mean, just to take on to get the knowledge of that, I think maximum 2 to 3 classes. But if you would like to really understand and test, and then you have exercises, definitely that will be slightly longer. And it is based on your understanding also, because I mean, you know, what we're trying to do. So we try things with the code, and then if you understand, then we move on. If you don't understand, then we have to stop. So that is cannot be guaranteed. I mean, just explanation only, maybe 2 3 classes maximum. But if you would like to really understand and make sure that you really are able to solve problems on your own, so yeah, that can be, yeah. I didn't get you. I didn't.
Yes,
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
So yeah, I would say that yeah, we are approaching the end, and I mean, we focused on what is the recursion, and the OOP was actually the most tricky things, especially in the understanding, not in the questions, but in the understanding itself. Yes, what we are going to take do come in the exam, and yes, sometimes the questions are, yeah, slightly. I mean, sometimes they have some ideas, but I don't think that they are as challenging as recursion, for example.
Yes.
Okay. So let us try to move on. So did you ever hear about linear search?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is linear search?
Linear search is basically when it takes a list and is trying to find a specific type of not type of data. It's trying to find something within that list. So it will search the entire list and to see if it finds something that matches with what it's looking for.
So most of the time, the question in the exam is about you define a function, and you pass a function some input, and make the function return true or false for you. Okay, so I think from what you see here, do you understand what this code is doing? So as you can see, we are defining a list, we're defining a target that we would like to search, you're creating a flag variable, and then we are having a for list, a for loop here, and then we are looping through the list, and every time we loop through it, we actually searching for the target. If we find the target, then we're going to break. Do you know what is this doing?
Yes. It basically ends the if statement.
And not only the if statement, it actually breaks the loop, which means that, I mean, the if ends by the last line in the if. Once it runs, then that is the end of the if. But here, this break, it's actually for the loop. So it means that if you find an input, or if you find what you're searching for, you find the target, then you don't need to go through the remaining of the list. You already find it. So if you find the target here at this position, then you don't need to search for 9 inside the 1, because I mean, I already find it.
So it basically ignores the range and just stops once.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But I need my flag variable. Why? Because I will never know if I managed to exit the loop until, I mean, I run the loop towards the end, or I already exited in the middle. So how can I know that? Using my flag variable. So my flag variable is a way for me to check to make an if statement to know if I managed to find the target or not. Is this code can be modified? Yes. So sometimes he will ask you, okay, we know that this list is having, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the index. So sometimes he tell you, I would like to know the index, where you find my target. Sometimes he would like to only get true and false. So you make a function, and typically 90% of the time, he give you this linear search question as a method. So it means that you need to create a method, and this method need to return something. It can return an index, which is where exactly you manage to find the target, which is, if in this case, would be 4. So this is the index where we managed to find our target, or you will be making return true or false. So I would say one of the ways, if we would like to define a function here, I would remove the break, and just, if I'm trying to make the function return true and false, I would say here return true. And then after the for loop, I will say return false. So if I ever manage to get this if statement condition true, then I will return true once I manage to find my target. So if I return true, it means that I will never run the return false. When is the return false going to happen? If you ever never reach the return true.
Yes.
Is that clear to you?
Yes, it is clear.
So I think one of the things that beside solving the exercise, because at the end of the day, the exercise will ask you, or the exam question that I'm going to pass to you, not now, as a homework, you will have to write a function or a method that actually put this code under the function name, and then you call the function to search for something. So typically, the linear search will take an input. Maybe it's 1 input, maybe it's 2 inputs. So maybe you take the list as an input and also the target as an input. So you take 2 inputs, or it depends on the requirement. Okay, so I think anyway, if because I will see how many homeworks I need to give to you, but most probably you have to create a function out of this. So I leave this as a part of homework. I think the code is clear so far.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
I just can see what's below the
yeah, yes, okay. So I would say, let me put it up here like this, and then I would try to clean this. Can you see?
Yes, I can.
So it's not a big deal, especially if you this if statement or this code, it's a basic code, you are able to use it. But maybe if you require in your method, if you create a method and put this code inside, you might not need to have this. Okay, yes. So you just return true and false, and by having true and false, you're able to do even this this if statement outside in the main. So do you understand what I'm saying? Or
Yes, I understand.
okay, that's good. So I would say, yeah, linear search. I think we already understand about it. So I will give you that as an exercise, which is the exam question. And then let's talk about binary search. Do you know what is a binary search?
I do not.
Okay, so a binary search is a bit tricky because, okay, so the problem with a linear search is that we have to go through every element in the array until we find our target. But what if if what we are searching a list that can maybe contain 1 million items? Is that common? Yes, it is common. Sometimes we create big lists that contain even maybe more than 1 million items. So how can we, if we have many people who are trying to search for data inside the list, if we, I'm sorry, if we have many people searching the list, and this list contain 1 million items, that will consume a lot of time to return. Maybe it will take some kind of maybe 10, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe until it return. So that is time consuming. We need to find a smarter way to search a big list. How can we do that? We created the binary search. So the binary search depend on something very important, which is I need to sort my list before I start to search for it. And when I say binary search, it means that I would, if the list maybe contain 100 items, I will never go through all of them. I will try to minimize the amount of if statements that I do, which is the kind of comparison that I did in the linear search. In the linear search, you have an if statement under the for, and every element you have to check it for the value you are searching. So the target value here is 64, and this 64 is here. So typically, if you do a linear search, you have to go through every element. But in the binary, no. The first thing we do is we make sure that this list is sorted, which means the numbers here start from the smallest until we reach the largest. That's one thing. The second thing is, so we have to define three things. We have to define the start of the array, and the mid of the array, and the end of the array. And we do that for multiple times until we are able to find our target. Okay, now let me try to, sorry again?
Question. Why is the high the length of the array -1 rather than the length itself?
Okay, and that's a good question. So I would say that the length here is not 4.
Oh,
the
it's
length
5.
is 5.
Yes.
And
Okay.
and this means that the last number is 5 minus 1, which is length
Okay,
minus 1. Okay?
Okay.
So,
Yes.
okay. So, yeah, we need to define the low and high. Okay? So this is my low and my high at the first start of my code. So I define them here, but let me confirm to you. Do you understand what this line is doing? I am putting two variables
At
and I'm
once.
yes, at once. So they call that tuple unpacking. Did you ever hear about this concept before?
No, I have not.
So, okay, I will go through it with you in a later, but yeah, just give me a reminder if I don't. So we are able to do this kind of assignment just in one line, but we only do 2 of them like that. Okay, there is ways to do 3, but I think within the syllabus you never need to exceed 2 like this. So you just like saving time by writing this kind of code. You are assigning 2 variables in this way, so the 0 goes to the low and the length go to the high, and then we have a while loop. So this while loop will continue until the low is less than or equal to the high, which means that we will keep moving the low and the high until they are almost equal. Once they are equal, we will finish. I mean, the loop will end. Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. We need to calculate the mid value. What is the mid? It is, we are using integer division. We add these two and we divide it by 2. So we add the low and the high. So if we have 0 and 4, we add them together. It gives me 0 plus 4 equal 4, right? I divide this by 2, it gives me 2. If it was 5, I divide it by 2, it gives me also 2, because I'm using integer division. So that my mid variable will be actually pointing to 2. So have a look here when I put my mid, just by executing that line that calculates the mid position. So the mid is pointing, I mean, this value low and high and everything is actually pointing to the index. We are caring only about the index. So the 2 is the index. The mid carries the index of the mid value here. I mean, we are not talking about that the 25 is the mid, it's actually the index we're caring about. So now we check, the first thing we check if our target, which is 64, is actually equal the mid value. So is 64 equal 25? Definitely no. So if it is yes, I will update my flag variable to be true, and then I will break. Why I will break? Because I already find my middle. So the point here, okay, if you look here, 64, my list is arranged. So if I go to the mid, I say, is it 25 equals 64? I say no, but then I will start to check. Is it 64 bigger than 25 or less than 25? Because the numbers here is sorted, it means that if the 64 is bigger than 25, I need to search on this portion of the array, not this portion.
Yes.
So that is how I cut the amount of if statements that I need to run. So I don't want to compare 64 to 11 to 12 to 22. No, I take the mid, I start with the mid, and then, so you see here, I have a if else, I compare the mid, and I check if it is less than the target. If it is less, then I modify my low. So my low become, so if now here the target is 64 and the mid is 25. So if 25 is the 64 is bigger than 25, I need to search in this portion of this array. So if I need to search in this portion, I need to modify my low and my mid. So my low now become what? Mid plus 1. So I'm going to point here. Let me move these slides. These slides will actually do. So we come here because we are searching for 64. We come to this portion. If we come to this portion, do you notice where is the low now pointing? The low moved. No, I would like to hear you. Are you saying something?
Oh, I said that the low is now pointing at 3.
Yeah, possibly. Yes. That is, yeah, that is, I think, a mistake, because maybe when I imported, let me see here. Yep, you're correct, actually. Yes, you are correct. This needs some kind of modification. I would say, yeah. When I imported this to the Google slide, it seems that this have a problem. So this should be 1, here should be 2, this should be 3, this should be 4. Yeah, that's why I got it. Okay, so 4, 5, and even 6. So we actually having 6. Okay, so okay, I would say ignore this, please, and I will try to fix that after the class. So yes, thanks for the remark. Okay, so at the end, the low, I will say, where is my mid? So if my mid is 3, I will add 1 to it, and then I will make my low point now to this. Okay, so after I immediately finish this, I will go to check the while loop. Is it my low, which is pointing to 4, is less than or equal the high, which is pointing to 6? So it is less. 4 is still less than 6. So we're still able to run again. So once I run again, I recalculate the mid again. So the mid should not be looking at here, but it should be looking to low plus high divided by 2, which means that it is 4 plus 6 divided by 2. It gives me 10, and I divided by 2, it gives me 5 at the end. Is it true? Give me 5?
Yeah.
So the mid now need to put to point at 5. So you see here, now it's pointing at 5, right?
Yes.
Oops, I supposed to keep that so that, yeah, okay. So now we would like to continue our if statement. So we check again. So this time when we check the mid and compare it to our target, which is 64, I find that it's true, they are equal. So I update my actually variable here to be true, and then I break. So why I break? Because I managed to find my target, and I know that, okay, I managed to find it. So in this case, this is a simple code that does not return true or false. It does not return the index, but you are able to return the index. So I'm able to say that the result index maybe equal mid, because you managed to find this target at the mid, at the position of the mid, right? So you find it at 5. So you are literally saying that the result index is 5.
Yes.
Okay. So did you understand anything here?
Yes. I did
So
understand. I
so
understood it.
yeah, so the break is actually going to break the while loop. This kind of code, you need to memorize it by heart. Linear search, binary search need to be memorized by heart, because they have little adjustment, but at the end, there is not much more that you can really edit or change. Just little changes. You need to put it in a function, most probably, and you need to be able to pass input to the function and get output. So the binary search, it's able to return the result index where you find your target. That's possible. You can say true or false as the result. So you mean that if you didn't find anything, you're searching for a number that is not in the array, you return false. If you manage to find the 64 inside, you return true. So your function can return true and false, same exactly like what I said with a linear search. So far, is it clear?
It is.
So
Very clear.
you have to say, I mean, there is no. So I would say your exercise here is to write the code, run it, put it in a function, and let us discuss about it. Looking at the code only does not make you understand it. This is a difficult code. It's not an easy code. You need to write it. But I understand your situation, which is you're going to have exams, and then I try to save your time.
But it's okay. I'll write the code. It's fine.
Sorry again?
It's okay. I'll write the code.
Yes, and we discuss about it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, that's good. So I would say we need to talk about sort. We have two kind of sorting algorithms that we need to learn, but I would say to make it simple first. So I would say, let me think. I need to explain one concept to you first before we talk about insertion or even sorting. So give me a second. I would like to talk about swapping technique. So the swapping is actually what I tried to explain to you a while ago. So sorting, we have a list that is not sorted, that is not arranged. Okay, it can be an integer list, it can be a string list. So if we would like to arrange a string list, which means that I arrange it based on the alphabetical order of the alphabets. So I need to start with that could be a string. So I put it, so that could be a list like that. So if I would like to arrange list, so I would say that if this list maybe, let me see. So this list, it appears like it is arranged, but it is not. So this should come here and this should come here. So you need to, even a string, you need to arrange it, and that can be sorted using the sorting techniques that we will learn. But the base of the sorting techniques is actually need to understand swapping. You need to swap places of your values inside the list. And to learn that, we need to understand the concept here. So if you have two variables first, A and B, and we store 5 inside A and 10 inside B. And then look at here. So this is one of the simple swapping techniques. The techniques say that I need to create a temporary variable. And then, and the beauty of this technique, that it's very close to the pseudocode, because pseudocode use exactly the same swapping technique. Okay. Python have its own advanced way. We will talk about it, but pseudocode exactly have the same method here. You create a temporary variable, and then you assign A to it. So we're storing the value of A inside temp. So temp now will contain 5. And then what I'm going to do next is to take the value of B, which is 10, I store it in A. So now A does not have 5 anymore, it has 10. And then the last thing is I take the value inside temp, I store it in B. When I do that, it means that I managed now to make A and B look like this. So initially, the A and B was having 5 and 10. And by the end of this code, I'm going to have, if I print A and B, I will see that they have swapped their values. So the B now contain 5, and then the A now contain 10. So they swapped. How we do that? We use a temporary variable. This is the key to it. Is that clear so far?
Yes, yes. I do
So
remember this from pseudocode.
pseudocode, exactly. So now the advanced technique, if you can understand it. So we have this. Here, we are not able to do it without a temporary variable. But I mean, you look at these two variables, A and B, same like here, nothing changed. But we are able to do the swapping in one line in Python if you're not confused. So here we say that we take the B, we store it in the A, and we take the A, we store it in the B. So that line is equivalent to these 3 lines. So this is a simple, and this is, we call it tuple unpacking technique. So we are able to do exactly the same concept, or say achieve the same result, just only by writing this one line.
So it's kind of like how it was written in binary search. You assign them at the same time.
Exactly.
Is assigned to be.
Exactly. Yes. So this is the same concept that I'm writing or doing assignment for 2 variables at the same time in one line. Yes. So if I were to print A and B, I will find them that they already swapped. Now A have 10 and B have 5. So you need to write this code. Okay. We are approaching the end, but this technique is important. I mean, that is one of the ways that we break the sorting algorithm understanding using, we cut them into small pieces and try to digest each piece, and then we start to build the sorting algorithm one shot, so that if you really memorize the code only, especially in this sorting, you might have, it's a complex code. If we don't divide it into small pieces, then definitely you will not be able to understand it. I have experienced that with other students, because this also swapping technique is part of the IGCSE O level, and the how to say, the subject 0478. So they share with you the same. Of course, certain techniques you're learning here, like binary search and other sorting, they don't take it. They only take just one technique for sorting. So by experience, I find students, they are not able to really digest and find it very complex. So that's why by time I developed the technique of dividing the code into smaller pieces, and then we build it up from small code until we reach that we are having a sorting technique or a sorting algorithm. Do you have any questions so far?
No, none so far.
Okay. May I ask you one question? But don't be offended. Just let me know. Truly, do you find it a problem that you do the request when I ask you to do the review? Is it a problem? Is it you don't have?
No, it's not a problem at all.
Okay, okay, that's okay. So it's totally fine. I mean, it's totally up to you. If you don't want, if you feel not comfortable, it's totally okay. No,
Sorry, when you say review, are you talking, can you please be a little bit more specific? Sorry.
so I mean, I am talking about. If you remember, I told you, you find me through Teacher On, right? The platform Teacher On.
Yes.
So typically, you are able to leave reviews on the website.
Oh, yes, I just forgot about that. I'm so sorry
No
because there was a
problem.
problem with the card that day, then I forgot to do it
No
because I
problem.
need
It's
to use
okay.
my card.
Totally fine. So you don't need to use too much money. It is just only one. I mean, the minimum is $1. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
If
just
you
forgotten to do it.
no
Yes,
problem.
I'll do it.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay,
Okay, thank
then
you.
see you next class. Take care.